I'm Cesar De La Cruz, co-host of the Tolleson-Mack podcast. And before we get into the Banks family here, we'll talk about a few sponsors. Brandon, who do we got?
Yeah, we want to do a better job of talking about our sponsors a little bit. We got Turtle Box. We got Hauser Built Retriever Trucks. Flint Farms. Who we leaving out, Caesar?
Man, Rat Bastard.
Rat
Energy
Bastard,
Drinks.
that's
We like those guys. I gotta. We're gonna get more over here for the studio for everybody to drink.
Yeah, but we try to do a better job.
RopeWithCaesar.com if you want to get a roping lesson in Arizona, hit me out.
Oh,
Who's another sponsor?
we've come through the Caesar camp before.
Yeah, we sure did.
Came out a better man.
Yeah, military style of Caesar around.
Yeah, that's right.
Always
Get your
military
get your goat rope out, right?
That's
for
true.
For sure. That's
Always.
first and foremost.
The most important thing is the goat ropes.
Listen.
Well, we got the Banks family here. We got Jay and Alexis Banks, and thank you so much for coming.
Oh, no
Appreciate
problem.
everything.
No problem. You first, love.
Oh, thanks, y'all.
We could talk a little bit about kind of what you're into, and like you guys got some cool barrel races and ropings coming up. Crown B Ranch.
Yep.
Really cool. And you have a cool stallion too. We can talk a little bit about as well.
Yes, oh, my boy.
And you've been doing your homework over there. I see
You
you.
kind of want to get into a little bit of your history too. You know,
Okay,
when you're
cool.
a little bit younger coming up and
No
in
question.
the hood of Patagonia. Love it
Yeah.
out there.
Down south, the 520.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So yeah, listen, we want to first and foremost thank you for having us on. I think Crown B Ranch is kind of growing, and this is a definite reflection of that, right?
Definitely, I would agree with that.
Yeah. So like, just for you to have us on here is big for us, and we get to promote some of our events coming up, and so that's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
Appreciate
Yeah, for
that.
sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Talk to us a little bit about the barrel races and the jackpots.
So our barrel races have been fantastic. We had the Masters race in June at the Pima County Fairgrounds. We paid out over like $70,000.
Cool.
I feel like Arizona is really lacking in super shows. A lot of places we've been, big money, big payout, big entries, and so we're bringing that kind of vibe here. And obviously, it's wanted because we've seen a huge outreach from the community in our industry. So it's been awesome.
No question. So I didn't come on it. Check this out. I want to tell you something about kind of Crown B Ranch. Like we started this years ago, but like I think when we started doing the push a little bit was about probably 2 or 3 years ago in South Carolina. But it really got big when we came back to Arizona. A lot of people. Let me get this misconception cleared up right now. A lot of people think. Because we're doing things now and we're doing them here, that we're not from here.
Yeah, that we're newbies.
Wait a minute.
I know. You feel like we came back home after putting on, being gone for so many years in Texas, Louisiana, South Carolina, and like we're the new kids on the block again. And like, whoa, wait a minute, y'all.
No question. And so like, I'm from Patagonia, Arizona, which is down on the
Yeah,
border.
I grew up in Sonoita, so very close.
Yeah, so about 12 miles apart, 10 years apart.
Two of the most beautiful towns in Arizona. Like if you get down south, it's beautiful mountains and water.
question.
It's
Gorgeous. You don't feel like you're in Arizona up there.
No,
Yeah.
feels like you're in the mountains
And
of Montana.
yeah, huge, big ranches up there, push big cattle out of there in the San Rafael Valley. You have the Vaca.
Empire, yeah, a lot of them.
You said you guys went to Louisiana, Texas, and North Carolina. What did you guys do while you guys been gone for the?
So we got married in
16?
and we went right to Louisiana first. James' family had a racehorse ranch down there, so he went down there and broke a lot of the.
They call them farms down there, love.
Yeah, farms. Sorry.
Just kidding.
I learned about all the English side of our life down there. They had all the racetrack farms down there, and then we flipped a really small property that we were given by his father's passing, and then we bought a place in Texas and made that a ranch. So we've just been flipping and building equine facilities. So we put a
Perfect.
home on, we put a ranch on.
Yep.
We try and put events on to make it, sustainable and show that it can be a business or a homestead. And we just kind of live there a couple years and keep on moving.
Yeah, she's right. I think that we just tried to kind of capitalize on that on the first years of our marriage and stuff like that, making money like everybody does, right? So they get married, you want to go get it, and that's what we did. So we just ended up making, like she said, those equine properties, and they're not huge. We're not talking about big horse farms or anything like that. We're talking about, I think
16 acres was the
place
first one.
Yeah, and then
Texas was even smaller.
yeah,
I think it was like
hotel,
8.
This and that, a small home and whatever, and then go from there. And then we had a good deal of luck right there during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? So we ended up after Texas, just before the pandemic ended, we ended up going to Patagonia to the state park, the lake, and they sell homes in that area, or whatever. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that people were running to lakes during the pandemic. Like people were like, they were
there's
buying
nothing else
boats,
to
they were
do.
buying cars, people were buying horses, they were just buying. And so
Well, not only that, how many places can you get a ranch and be right on the lake?
that's right. Yeah.
In Arizona.
We love to go, and we love our horses, and we got the best of both worlds.
No,
there.
we put a barn on it. We put an arena on
Arena.
it. The pandemic hit and we almost tripled.
Yeah.
You know, and then that was like that
We
was
had a
set and
taco
firm. That was
shop.
kind of our little thing to build some capital and have some fun with that. Went to South Carolina. That place was, we sold that for over $1 million. So that was a good deal there.
Yeah, that was probably our first big build, big flip.
Let's talk
South
about that a
Carolina.
little bit.
And that's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Caesar
Yeah,
came
you
out
came
to
out
visit.
there. That's right. Yeah.
So you
Hello,
got to
man.
see the
Yeah,
stages.
got to go do a clinic out there.
Yeah,
and
that
like,
was cool.
so when I flew in, I didn't know it. I'd never been to South Carolina like that before, and kind of drove around.
Oh, this is good. You're telling
So, so when I get there, I'm like, man,
Well,
this is beautiful. Like these old town, these trees. Are they oak
history.
trees?
It's
they're
a
oak
lot of
trees,
history.
Big oak
sure.
trees that grow over the road. So
Yeah.
it's like you're driving through tunnels and stuff, and like
Trees.
these are old. They're old trees. Not the houses are old, and it's like a lot of. We're driving through there, and there's polo fields, and like you're getting to like I didn't know.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's like
So
and then what is steeplechases, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. This is back east, big old money right there in that part of the country. And these guys have been doing horses for hundreds of years, and like they got their old grooms and they play polo right there in Aiken, South Carolina, which is close to Augusta where they play the Masters. Big golf fan.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Hence the Masters in June for us.
yeah.
Our son was born there, so we have a little, little
Yeah,
heart
he was-
towards
yeah,
it
yeah.
right
So,
there in
but
Georgia.
anyway, like you said, like right there, we tried to get a place right there on Polo Row.
Yep.
What they call Polo Row, and that's like Revlon has a polo team there. You got-
Wrigley.
yeah, you got
Wrigley
Wrigley.
Gum.
People own Wrigley Gum have it. And so, anyways, we bought on that road, made a little house, put a barn, and sold it to an English person.
We were the first Western folks to pull up over there.
Yeah, and honestly, we threw barrel races over there.
Yeah.
I bet they loved it because the polo players that did the clinic there, they rode really well, but they
Yeah.
didn't row very good. So
No,
we had to
no,
teach them
no,
how to
no.
row
Yeah.
and show that stuff.
they
But
came over and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was quite a few polo players that went to the clinic, but like they rode really well.
Yeah.
You just like they put their horse in the right spot pretty easy,
Right.
But they're just so aggressive. They didn't know how to swing the rope
Yeah,
very
you're
good.
right.
Like once we got them lined out, they caught. But like
Yeah.
ridings, they all rode good out there because like they kind of all grew up riding and
Yeah,
stuff. And
agreed.
then, like you talked about, it's just kind of you have barrels set up out there. When I first showed up, like I'm sure them people never seen that before.
No, they
You know
haven't.
what I'm saying?
It was-
Roping her boxes.
Our neighbor across the street did hunter jumpers and stuff, and she
all
would
of
just
us.
always look over there like with the just scowl on her face. you
Yeah,
know,
it was
but-
like hardcore two worlds colliding when the banks
for
pulled
sure.
in.
But we held nothing back. We cut that arena. We called Pre-Fert. Shout out to Pre-Fert.
Yes,
And
they got us set up. We actually
So this-
got the
yeah,
arena
tell.
package from the American during COVID.
Yeah,
It
so-
came from the arena on a flat truck too, and we still have it. Sentimental, but it
Yeah,
was really cool.
Exactly. And so they got us one out there and we set that thing up, man. We took the tractor out there, threw a harrow on it, chopped that thing up, and said, let's roll. And to tell you the truth, we don't own it now, but we can kind of say some things about it. But like,
Yeah.
like, you had to work in that arena a little bit. It was some sand and stuff like that.
It was just like the
Nice.
natural
It
ground.
was a cool
Yeah,
setup.
we
Yeah,
would find
yeah.
like
Thank you.
cups.
Appreciate that.
Like somebody must have dumped there at some
Yeah,
point,
exactly.
or-
Yeah.
It was wild.
really neat. Yeah,
But I
to see
people
that.
loved it. We definitely got like a really good feel of everybody because James would have to go like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4
For
hours just to
roping,
go to a jackpot or roping,
Yeah.
and that was maybe once a month.
Yeah.
There were no.
So
ropings
as we
there.
talk tonight, I want to shout out people as we go along, okay? Because
Shout
there's some
out.
people along. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to look up Kyle, you can
Kyle
check him.
Lara,
Yeah,
yeah.
Kyle Lara on Instagram. He's a Brazilian roper down there, and he's just always making moves down there, making waves. He ropes well.
He's a really good young kid. Was he at the clinic? No,
I don't
Was
think
that- I think we met
he-
him
he
right
had
after
soccer
that.
weekend. He also plays collegiate soccer.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He's
Athlete.
really coming up in the
Fast
world.
feet.
Yeah.
So I want to shout out him real quick. Now we can move on.
Yeah,
And
he's
shout
been
out
part
Kyle.
of
What's
the
up, big
brand
dog?
for a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
I think we did our like Caesar's dinner, and
Yeah.
the house was in studs. I think we had did we put heaters in there, or was the heater?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah, we
kinda
did a
getting all
crawfish
set up.
boil.
Yeah, it was awesome. It really was. Like,
Yeah,
it was a good time.
I was impressed.
Yeah, we weren't finished at home, but we made it work, and that was really
It
cool.
was
You
cold.
came out. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those little moves, like people got to give you credit too for your name and stuff like that, because a lot of those little moves, when we associate our ranch with your name, like people see that, people respect the professionalism of it, and like so people have to understand that like it's not just, oh, you're coming out to give a clinic or whatever, but it's that you helped us build. And,
Definitely,
we really
yeah.
appreciate
It
you
was
for
really
that.
neat.
Turning point for us. Yeah.
So when you guys sold that place right there, did you sell it to some cowboys or people?
No,
wanting
they're
it?
English people from Ohio.
They were.
So like if I don't think you ever got to see the home finish, but it was very modern. Like it was very new, like everything
Modern
smart
inside.
TVs, smart mirrors. like-
Southern outside.
yeah, southern outside, but very modern inside, like black cabinets. I had to literally hire a painter on top of our contractor because he would not paint my cabinets black.
He was just old South Southern
Like,
wouldn't
he
do it.
wouldn't
I
do
ain't
it.
doing it.
I was like, I'm gonna get these damn cabinets how I want them. But we kind of knew it was gonna take somebody from a different state that just really loved the home, loved the property as much as we did, to purchase it. And they came in from Ohio and bought it, and they're English folks.
Yeah,
Dang
good,
it.
good people. I heard that, like, let's be real with it, right? Because we're doing that tonight. You know
Yeah.
what it is? But they, like, went in there, tore the fence down right away. I built that beautiful
Oh, dude.
3 wood board fence, like
Yeah.
3 wood board, beautiful black stained fence. They tore it out and put, like, some wires.
The railroad ties. it
Oh,
was
my
just
goodness.
super like
I
classy
did a-
Western.
Yeah,
you know?
it was classy Western, is
I'm
right.
sure it broke your heart, but then like Flavor Flav, I got that
Give me
money.
Hey, dog, give me that check.
I know. I keep telling James we got to go back and see all the things they've done. It's probably completely different.
So
But that was South Carolina.
that was
Yeah, it
beautiful.
Good
cool.
South. We appreciate you coming out there. That was cool, man.
Told you 10 times that was one of the most beautiful towns I've ever been to. Flying
definitely.
into it and stuff is just really pretty.
A lot of history there.
That kind of work, that building places like that, I love doing that kind of stuff. I was able to do that in my last place, and only thing that was there was just a house, and then I built everything, roping arena, and do all that process. Like that was a lot of fun. So I know you
Gets
guys.
to be your
It's a
own.
cool,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah, you
And
just
then
stand
I
back.
sold my place, so down the road where my Tolleson-Mack arena is, but I was lucky enough to rent it back from the people I sold it
Oh,
to.
cool.
So I got some guys living there, and we still get to use the arena, and I still get to be there still. So
You get to
that worked
enjoy the
out
fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
good way to
cool.
look. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like he said, I mean, when we left and you have to pull the he didn't really say it, but I had to pull the chutes out, and like,
We're a little sad.
yeah, that's a little tough,
Yeah, it's a little sad.
Whatever, give me that check, right?
Yeah, it was work for sure. 'cause
Yeah, it was nice that they were English people because I really didn't want to leave the arena.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not going to appreciate where this arena came from. Like,
Yeah,
I need
all
this
the-
to
all
go
the sand
with
and all that
us.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the
Like,
effort
you
to
don't
get that,
understand the history of the American, how important that is to our industry. Like,
Yeah.
it's got to come with us.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
So that worked
are you
out.
guys doing a new place here now, or what's?
Oh,
Yeah.
change
Yeah,
that.
let's talk about that now. It's the next.
So we bought in St. David, south of Benson. It's a beautiful little town. We bought a little property out there. We've got an arena, a barn. It's definitely been harder to get contractors out there because it is so far. I mean, we're down a really long dirt road, but it's gorgeous.
So if
We're right at the Carachawa, excuse me, what?
Chiricahua.
Chiricahua Mountains. It's gorgeous.
So if people not familiar with Arizona but are familiar with the movie Tombstone, not too far away at all.
Perfect.
It's kind of
No question. We're
outlaw country.
We're in
out
that
there. It's really
stronghold
cool.
right there.
It's
so
really pretty though.
So the Chiricahua Mountains, where our place sits at, okay, it was a big ranch at one time, and it sits right at the base of the Chiricahuas. But actually, excuse me, I'm very wrong on that.
Cochise
It's
Stronghold.
the Dragoons.
Yeah,
Okay, the
stronghold.
Chiricahuas are further back.
Oh, yeah,
They're kind of
yeah.
like some bigger mountains by rodeo and whatnot.
yeah.
This is actually Dragoon Mountain. So if you're going outside of Benson, just as you go up towards Texas Canyon, where all the rocks are in the rest area there, it's that exit before that. So
Okay.
it tucks up just against those rocks and stuff like that. Beautiful property. But they say that Cochise is buried there, or his body should be there, whatnot, because
I hope not on our property.
but they anyways, they used to summer there and,
Yeah.
and whatnot. So
Yeah, it's really cool. Like the rancher had thousands and thousands of acres, and he broke it down into like 40-acre parcels. So in different parts of the little area, which is cool. So we snagged a little piece, and we're building there.
Yeah, and so that's a private place for us. We won't hold anything out ever there.
Yeah.
That's just our family stuff.
Off the grid?
It is.
It is.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
It's really quiet. Like, you shouldn't be out there unless
see
we
you should
told
be
you
out
come out
there.
there, you know, and definitely not somebody we know for sure. But,
It's an
but
area.
so it's cool. But so what we did with when we bought that place, we decided, hey, check it out. What are we gonna do now? We're not gonna put ropings on here at the house. Okay, this is our private place. This is where we live, raise our family, whatnot. But what are we gonna do? Like your place is the same thing too. You don't put on ropings there, right?
No, just private.
Yeah, just
lessons.
private practice.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's how we wanted to keep it too. Like we've had guys go out there and stuff like that. But so we were like, what are we gonna do to keep this stuff going? And what's our next move? And so when we did all these barrel races and team ropings, we were like, look, what's gonna draw these people
Yep.
to come to ours over this guy's down here that's giving away 10,000 this weekend, 10 saddles and 10, you know. And so our main focus was just getting behind people who were behind the brand and then finding unique places to rope. Like, yes, a lot of you older G's have OGs like yourself have roped that rawhide back in the day and whatnot, right? But they've
Yeah.
redone their stuff now.
And they
you
were
know?
closed down for so many years. I mean, I think I ran there like 10 years ago.
Yeah, and so like
they haven't done much of anything.
And so when we heard they were cracking back open, and that shout out to Wild Horse Pass for that
Yeah.
too. But when we heard that they were opening back up, we were like, let's see if we can get our foot in.
Yeah,
and
our
do
whole goal was finding places that people don't really get to run. You know, going to Scottsdale, the Equidome. If you don't run WPRA or
It's beautiful
PRCA,
there
you don't
too.
get
Yeah, it's a
to
cool
go
place to run.
compete
That's awesome.
there.
That's really cool.
You know, so we wanted to give everyday competitors and jackpotters the chance to come and run for some money and get to run at a place where
You
they've
don't
gone
re-
since they were
yeah.
kids and watched the pros run, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So it draws them on a whole nother level.
And that comes from us doing things too. Like I remember you going to Texas and being able to run with those big girls
Yeah,
in
the
the big stadium,
Coliseum, yeah.
and stuff like that. And
I
that
don't
was
even think
cool.
that at Odessa,
You know?
I think last
Oh,
year was like the
yeah.
last year or something they did that. But yeah, that's something I'll never forget. I mean, a
And-
lot of history.
For sure. And I want to say something else too is that like we're not accomplished rodeo stars like most of the guests that you have on this podcast, right? Like I'm not here because I went to the finals or because I won a gold buckle or anything like that. I'm here because we put on these ropings and you know we
Bringing the
sup-
big money to the game.
you know what it is. So yeah, and we support
Facilitate a different
like
avenue for everybody.
For sure.
when people see like if they follow the story at Crown B Ranch _ranch, like if you follow the story there, like I'll always put out like as sponsored roper such and such this and that, right? I try to lift these guys up that are from here, right? And Kyle of course, you know.
Right.
But like I try to lift them up in the way that I can lift up people, right? You do it with this podcast, you've done it with your career, you do it with this podcast as well. And so like I thought, you know, when we did this, that was what we were aiming
Well, and I
towards.
feel like nowadays social media is, I mean, that's how we started the brand per se. You know, I mean, we've been the Crown B since we got married in 2016. But to really get a following that we have, that came from Instagram, that came from social media, that came from campaigning and meeting people and people feeling like they were involved in something bigger than, you know, what it really is. I mean, it's huge to us, but
So-
people believe in us and we really try and push that for others.
Right.
You know?
So through with the Crown B on Instagram, and I feel like we have to credit a ton of our success to Instagram, and not because we've gotten what we got over viral videos. It doesn't really work like that, right? Like if you have an Instagram and you've hit viral a couple of times, like they're not just gonna pay you, right? You know,
Yeah.
you have to work at these things, and you really have to, you know, work at them. Like when I make a reel, right? This is cool for you kids at home to listen to. Like, look at us. Like I said, I'm not an accomplished rodeo cowboy, right? But I'm involved. I'm here. You're watching me right now.
You're in
And
the industry.
Exactly. And we're doing that because we worked at social media and we worked at Instagram. We worked at Facebook. We don't do TikTok.
Yeah, we're not real big TikTokers. I feel like that's the younger generation.
Yeah, not big TikTok.
And we're only on Facebook for our events.
Well, that's what I
Honestly,
mean. The
older-
Facebook for
the older crew is like really diehard Facebookers where we're not.
My mom goes to your events all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
She
you're
does
all the
Facebook,
time.
she don't have anything
She's
else.
the best.
Like, yeah.
And is it your niece? And
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
like that's what I like about your events. They're like real family oriented.
Yes,
So you
very.
got all from all ages over there, and they're all having a good time.
Okay.
And I feel like when we grew up, you could go to barrel race ropings or you
Yeah,
could
yeah,
go to
yeah.
things that were multi events, and they don't really have that anymore. You're either
You're camped out
in
for
an
the whole
open
weekend.
rodeo
Yeah.
or
For the
you're
weekends,
yeah,
yeah.
you know. So you have to. It's fun to bring that back, where you know the husbands get to rope while the wives are running barrels, and the kids can float wherever, you know.
Especially around here with the rush of the ropings and
Yep.
barrel race over here, it's like they're you're almost going to 2 in one day sometimes. You know what I mean? So they're
Exactly.
like,
Yeah,
as
you
soon as they
gotta
get there,
run and load up.
they load up and leave.
Yeah, load up, go the next.
No
day.
camping out, hanging
And
out.
that's what we've done our whole marriage is that we've gone, we'll try to treat each other
Yeah.
fair, right? Like the married couple does. So I'll go to a roping on Saturday. We'll haul to somewhere else for
A
barrel
very
race
Sunday, or I'll hit Friday, or wherever we can bounce off of each other, and especially in the winter.
I've cut my load down a lot now. I put them on now. So
Summertime is pretty much all me.
Gosh,
But winter's
it's-
coming, and I know I'm gonna have to take a back seat, but I'm okay with that.
yeah.
I was spoiled. I was in Montana all summer long, and I got here, and it's still in the hundreds. I'm like, man, I don't know how y'all did it.
Our horse got
They
bit
said
by
it's
a
nice. They
snake
said
last
104 is
night.
not that bad.
You two are the same, man. She
104
said,
is not that bad. What?
You two are the same because she always tells me, oh, it's 104 right now. I don't know how y'all do it. You're from here.
Like, I know, but like Montana spoiled me bad.
Yeah,
Like, that's not.
Nice and
It's,
cool.
it's
I
like
mean, but we're at like October. It should not be 100 degrees.
fall, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Our
it's
stud
fall.
horse got bit by
Yeah.
a snake the other day in the middle of what?
Right now in October.
I
Right
killed
on the
some
nose.
snakes at my house too, just the other day too. Like they're still out. Like
It's
you know,
ridiculous.
No, be careful.
Mother Nature, get the memo, please.
for sure. For sure.
Winter's here. Ropers are coming.
Yeah, they're coming no matter what.
Yep, I guess here another. I guess they had a jackpot the other day at Rancho Rio, and it was 108 over there. Tanner said that
Yeah.
it was pretty hot. I said it was miserable over there in the road, but they're out there jackpotting.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
I feel like they're gonna get a later November rush than usual. You know, I feel like guys are usually starting to haul in right now, and they're probably not gonna haul in
I
till
heard
middle
that,
November.
that downtown got a ton of teams.
Oh, yeah,
on
on their
Friday
Sunday
night.
night.
Yeah, and that 9.5, 11.
No shade over there either. Like,
know.
I bet it was warm.
In the thick of it over there.
Yeah, I like roving over there. Those guys are all there. They got a ton of hospitality for me.
Yeah.
They'll
always
tell me,
super kind.
I'll go up to a flagger. I'll go up to them, and they're like, can I video a little bit? Can I shoot a couple of the guys? And he'll go right here next to me, and then he'll look out for me while I'm videoing. And the flagger will look out for me.
Yeah.
Shout out downtown.
Yeah, they're a
They're
good little
good people.
production there.
Folks.
And so you're kind of putting the same vibe as some of the best ropings in the world over here in Arizona, putting
Yeah.
your events as well.
Hey, so if we go out and we golf with bums, I'm gonna golf like a bum. Okay,
Right.
you know. But if I go on and put on ropings with professionals and around here and around professionals, I'm gonna have to hold standards high.
Right,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know, I gotta get them to come.
I think we really noticed that, like living in Morristown for a little while and him jackpotting all winter up, you know, in Wickenburg. And then when we moved back down to St. David, going to the jackpots in like Tucson, it's a different vibe of roper, of class,
It
of
is.
just like professionalism. And I was like, what? Like,
Yeah, if you can bring the Wickenburg professionalism down south, you're gonna get
Is
more.
what's
more
the
people.
biggest difference?
I mean, the guys, I feel like everybody is down here during a season. They've got a certain amount of money in their pocket. They're hungry and they want to win, you know, and they're very professional and very focused. You know, down south, it's a party. It's
Yep.
a good time.
Yep.
It's a carne asada cookout. Like, it's
No,
wild.
And the ropings will go all night.
Yeah,
And
I'll
they're-
go until 10 in the morning.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, like
It
we,
did.
we
These-
were praying for 200-300 teams. We had 900 teams in Tucson in the middle of June.
in both ropings.
And both, like, that is wild.
Oh, can I give another shout out real quick? I told you I was going to shout out some people. So, Sabando's Cattle Company,
Yeah.
Guido Martinez.
Sorry, that's who our cattle producer is.
Yeah, that's who our cattle guy is, and like you know, I'm partners with him. His cattle are a reflection of me, and I'm a reflection of him. So
I love it.
You know,
Yeah, he's
we
been
just
fantastic.
partner on that alone. You know, but that guy's been stand up. And let me tell you something about those cattle. They're straight black cattle. They'll give you a good hop every time. So
Yeah.
South Tucson. Where
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
from.
but they're this
Exactly,
is
South Tucson.
yeah, this is our guy here. So that's our little partner on those deals. So we shout out to him, big dog.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know Widow real well.
Okay, yes, you do.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's a
sir. Yeah.
nice guy. We enjoy him.
Do you guys still have your cattle too?
No,
Okay.
we sold out a couple years ago.
Okay, good
Getting
deal.
expensive. We're like, oh, let's go get our own cows.
Yeah.
I look
A lot
at the
of work,
prices. I'm
too.
all just
So
kidding.
we did do the math, and Wedo even knows this. I told him, you know, like we did do the math. You know, I even hired a guy from Phoenix here, helped me with a 5-year plan, cowboy agricultural man. You know,
Did a whole
And-
like business plan.
and it took me a couple of months and stuff like that. And in the end, it was really hard for me to make sense at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, like you can't just I'm gonna put on a couple. Let me go get 125 head, and then
No.
you know.
Yeah,
it-
no,
That's
like that.
that's a lot of work.
and your
man.
and your uncle George told me that too. He's like, slow down, you know, slow down, Jay.
especially with the cattle. For
Yeah,
sure.
he did. Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely know. Yeah, so
I feel like right now we're on the enjoyment side of it, right? Like Weddle has to do all the hard work on his end of the cows, and like we do the hard work on the promoting side. but it's a good partnership where we
Yeah.
can really enjoy what we're doing and not be like, oh my God.
And then people
That's
get
150 ain't
24
enough.
hours a day.
You're needing like 500, 600,
Yeah,
1,000 head.
I had
like
500.
that's a
Oh,
big
oh,
operation
yeah,
of cattle
yeah.
when you have like 900 team ropings and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Buying those
Because-
fresh ones, even when I was buying them, they were like 700, which was was a lot
I
back
was like,
then.
I take
you
that
know?
price right now.
Where's that guy at?
You don't want to
That
break
was
down
good
business
back
right
then.
now.
But then when you got rid of them, they weren't worth nothing. They were worth $200. So
Yeah.
I mean, without Tanner and Caesar's help, we were doing it like crazy, but it just there's a lot of factors you can't figure out. You can't even put a pencil to. You know
Yes.
how many runs can that one steer get when these other ones can just say 20 runs in their life, 30 runs in their life. Well, there's some that give you 10 runs in their life and they're done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of
Moving factors.
I did it for
there.
3 years, hot and heavy, and the trucking part of it, the semi. I have a semi trailer out there and multiple. I mean, it went from a hobby to a full time job overnight.
And
That's kind of what we talked about. Is like, is this going to be sustainable for our family? We're very close.
every
family.
person that I talked to that I was like, hey, I'm gonna get cattle, like I'm gonna make this happen. You know what it is? Like they were like, no.
They shut it down.
Not
hard.
right
They were like,
now,
do you
not
like your
right now.
family? Do you like any of your life? You like golf? You
He
know,
came over
hey.
from George's from rope, and he's like, "Man, George was so rough on me." And I was
like he doesn't.
"What
He was
do
like,
you
I was
mean,
like,
no?"
he don't support my business plan at all. Like,
My-
here's-
My good friend Oscar Duran, they're 1,500. M brands are 1,500. I know to get caught. Like, I mean, they're getting over here. Tyos gets them and stuff like that for his facilities and stuff like that. But geez, he's spending lots of money
tons
for
of
those
money.
things.
The only reason I made it work for so long is because I had the hay. I was able to feed them, and I had pastures, and I was able to rotate them. But it all came down to what I was making and spending every weekend. I felt like I was on the road, like I was rodeoing. Like,
yeah,
every weekend we were going to a backyard rodeo or a Mexican tailings or something.
no question.
And I overworked them, and it was just time to go. And I'm a farmer, so I got plenty of shit to do. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I was just trying to live that lifestyle. I wanted to taste it. I was kind of like you, I wanted to be in the industry. I ain't famous,
Yep,
but
yeah, exactly.
so this is my kind of, instead of me doing the cattle and bring, I did the Mike Survey and I did some of the bigger ones.
Well,
where-
FYI, I thought your cattle were great, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a nice black cattle too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like my shine to like meet these guys and be, meet Caesar and stuff. So
Gotcha.
once we got rid of that, I was like, well, fuck, I still want to meet some of these guys and stuff. So what's called Caesar Up on Days. Let's have a podcast and
Hey.
meet people.
Look, our plans worked, huh?
Yeah.
We got in, man. Yeah.
Fucking, huh?
Everybody needs some money, man. Don't forget it.
That's awesome. You guys,
The
are
rest
best-
is history.
best buds. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But no,
Well, you want to take a little bit of water break, fill our drinks up, and we'll come back for part
Sounds
two.
good.
come back to some
Yeah,
stories.
cool.
We're here in the second half of the podcast with the Banks family, and excited about the conversation we've had so far.
Yeah.
But
Second half, new drink.
yeah, we're gonna do the second half sponsors. We're gonna let y'all.
Yes, so we would like to say a big thank you to the Crown B Ranch sponsors, Impact Gel, Zestera, and Pro Hats.
Yeah, pro hats
Yep.
too. I think
Atta boy, I saw Caesar. I was like, oh, we got to
Oh.
give a shout out to our guys.
everybody's particular, especially with your saddle pad.
We only exclusively, like, I know a lot sponsors aren't, I'm going to drop a bomb.
It's hard to
here.
talk to
hard
another sponsored pad
Well,
person.
it's hard to get the sponsorships is,
Very
you
hard.
have to really believe in them. You don't just take a sponsorship because they're giving you one free pad. You really love those products. So we exclusively only ride, and it does work for the Crown B Impact Gel. And
And
they've
I'll-
been very good to us.
Yeah, I will tell you, when we did the very first the Masters race.
Yeah,
down
they
there in
sponsored
Tucson,
11 saddle
Like
pads.
we had 11 saddles that we gave away that day to the barrel racers. Okay,
Yeah.
like pretty much like the girls were pumped about that. They came down there. If they didn't get a saddle down there, they got a buckle. We gave away
Yeah.
40 of them.
We try to leave every hand
And they were
full.
the big dogs. People were like later, I don't really like.
They look like plates.
I like them. Like the girls, I don't think liked them that much.
You
But
get to see them from the parking
Yeah.
lot.
yeah, I should have kept the standards.
Yeah, but
Next
we
time.
do have to say thank you to Impact Gels as Sarah.
Yeah, they gave it-
They keep us clean.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Miss Alexis, we'll get into your little. So you're a social media influencer a little bit. Let's talk about that. I don't know if that hurt. If that hurts your heart a little bit to say that, but like you got a big following on social
No,
media.
it's really hard, and it's a blessing in disguise. I wouldn't say I'm an influencer because I'm not when I think of an influencer, I think of like a brand influencer, girls that are giving reviews on things and like, that's not me. I'm not that girl. Like you're not gonna get that kind of a review from me. But like athletic wise, I would say yes. Like, I really try to influence the industry with the barrel racing, the horses, and just kind of not looking the part per se, but still living in the dream.
I agree. I think that like a lot of I've had guys seriously hit me up, okay, because of the reels we made, and like
Yeah.
guys from down south and stuff like that they're
All
tatted,
over
you
the
know, people,
country.
yeah, there's a couple of guys too that are tatted like myself that'll just message me and be like, "Hey man, I don't see too many guys like you, bro." So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I
I feel
think
like
people
that's
are really almost I don't want to say infatuated, but they're just like, whoa, what is this like super city girl looking, riding horses and running barrels. And so it's just like a different vibe. And I think I really bring something different to the social media aspect. So it's been a lot of fun. You get to be creative with it, but still
Yeah,
authentic.
definitely.
Like I was really trying to push an influencer in my early Instagram days, but you almost feel like it's work. Like you're like constantly thinking of
3
what
posts a
yeah,
day.
like 3 posts a day, and what am I gonna post about today? And
Right.
it becomes inauthentic,
Yeah,
and it
exactly.
doesn't become true to who I am, to who our brand is, and what we do. And
It's-
so, falling more on the horses really
And
took off for
Can I
us.
say something
Yeah.
behind that real quick? I just want to say that like I kind of felt that about like when we had a small podcast. It was nothing
Tiny,
like this
like
one.
3 episodes.
Yes, nothing like this.
We're not
But-
good at staying
but
on
see,
target.
when I was the interviewer, okay, I felt like I wasn't authentic. I wasn't myself. I listened back to the 3 episodes that we made. I was like, I can't do this, man. Like
I know
that's not
people
even
ask
me.
us all the time, why don't you do it? And it's like it wasn't us. We were trying to always be very like politically
Oh,
correct and not say the wrong
I
thing.
I
And
felt like I would. I felt like
yeah,
that
you can only tell the
people
one
just
story
wanted us, like
so many
Impact
times.
Gel, like we just talked about and stuff like that. Felt like I had to hold a certain kind of standard to that because they are putting their name on you, right? And
A
you
lot of
have to
money goes
reflect
into
what they
it.
are, right? You're a mirror of what they want you to be anyway, right? And so like. Yeah, I kind of felt like that was like a
Stuffy.
magnifying glass when I did the podcast, and it was like I really couldn't be myself on that. But yeah, shout
always
out to
worried
you
about
guys. You
it,
guys
yeah.
pulled that off.
Like I don't know, we just say what we say, and then sometimes
Man,
we
it's
get in
been
trouble.
awesome.
But
Oh yeah.
we've been in
Wait.
trouble. But
I want to say something else too. This is quite the operation out here.
oh, thank you.
Man,
Yeah,
you
this
got
is neat.
you have barns and barns and barns full of hay. Man,
I know,
You
we're
got-
gonna have to
it's-
come down here.
It's 8 o'clock at night. There's guys out there bumping hay
Loading
right now.
hay.
Yep.
Yeah, here and there. Yeah, there are a couple different on a couple different stacks
Trucks
over
and
there.
trailers out
Yeah.
there.
What's
Yeah.
your hours right? You're still cutting hay.
Yeah, we
right?
got about maybe a week left, and we're done for the year.
Oh wow.
We're gonna chop
Yeah,
down.
those things are full.
Excited.
You're
Yeah.
starting about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, aren't you?
Yeah, right now the hours are screwed up. I sleep in crazy hours. It's just different months of the year, but we usually try to work at night. All night.
So it's not so
stuff like
hot.
that. Yeah.
Smart.
Oh,
Up,
okay.
up.
All right, I get
I
it
mean,
now.
who wants to unload a full truck of hay at 4 o'clock in Phoenix?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, no, this is.
No, this is
They were like serious out there too. They were getting loaded. So.
This
this
is
is
the start of
50
the day.
years of baling hay right here.
Now,
so.
do you just do semis, or can people come and bring
Yeah.
they bring their truck? Can they bring their trailer?
Yep,
Okay.
we do from a bale to semi loads. Yeah.
Okay,
So not
cool.
to talk like business on the podcast, but side note, we've talked about doing like a trailer load of hay giveaway at a roping. So
Okay.
I think we should definitely collaborate on that
Yeah,
because that
definitely.
would be something different,
Yeah.
something fun to do for the guy. Everybody can use some hay.
Promise you.
I always wanted to go. I've only seen like 3 or 4 in my days, but like I've always wanted
Where
to
they're
go.
giving
I
hay
never
away?
I never made it, but yeah, definitely.
That's
I mean,
cool.
you can give me that over anything, really. I'd take a trailer of hay over all the buckles, all the saddles.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
25
I got
We're-
right now. I got
we're
8
buckets
heads
there.
we're feeding.
Yeah,
and that's
a lot
not the
of
cattle
cattle feed.
either. That's what I'm feeding in
Horses.
my house. Might not be more than y'all's, but it's more.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
We can talk about your stallion a little bit.
Yeah,
cool.
so we actually have 2 junior stallions right now. We have Guys and Roses, who is a 6-year-old. He's by Frenchman's Guy out of a Stoley mare. He's fantastic. We haven't decided to open them to the public yet, just because we really want them to showcase in the arena. show what they're going to be and hold themselves as a stallion first. He doesn't know he's a stud.
And he is he is so standoutish. I mean,
He's
the guy is
flashy.
16 hands, just shy of 16. No, he's 16 hands, if not
Yeah,
16.
white
I mean,
mane.
yeah, white mane, long
Golden.
past his neck, put together in thirds too.
I tell him he's going to be a Briar horse one day.
This horse is put together in perfect thirds. He has a perfect neck to go with a perfect body, to go with a perfect hind end. When he walks, you see his tail swish. He's evenly balanced.
Yeah.
The way he moves his head. He knows how to counteract his other parts of his body.
We got really lucky with him. I found him out of a breeding program when we lived in South Carolina, and he was pretty much an untouched 4-year-old. I mean, he wasn't broke, ran himself into the arena, didn't know leads. I mean, he was a scratch, basically. We're starting from scratch with him, which is nice, but we're a little behind incentive-wise for fraternities and all of that stuff. So we decided, why rush it at this point? And we're just kind of taking it easy with him, but he's gonna be outstanding.
Yeah, he's cool. Guys and Roses, man. Look for him. You can also find his links on our Instagram
On
page.
Yeah, he's got an Instagram page, and then we have a 2-year-old. His name is Like a Bad Habit. He is,
Awesome name.
yeah,
He's
he's
cool,
cool.
man.
We call him Kick It. He's out of a Shawnee Bug, he's by Shawnee Bug
Bug
Leo, out of a cow bred mare. How terrible! I can't even tell you the mama's name right now, but he just came back from being in Monterosa's program there at Los Alamitos, and we'll probably, hopefully, my plan for him would be to go to the Riata and then go to the Barrel World his 4 or 5-year-old year.
It's a cool little thing, stocky horse.
Yeah, he
He's
looks
got that
just
stocky.
like a typical Shawnee.
Yeah,
Bug
they're
Leo.
they're sorrow with the white
Pitbull.
socks. They got the white place. Nice little.
Yeah,
horses.
he's a cool horse.
Yeah, those two guys are at the ranch, man. They're gonna be open to the public, but they need to go prove themselves first.
Yeah.
So, we definitely don't want to put out a product that's not 100. But those guys are good looking, strong, put together horses.
Well, and it's nice. I mean, he can have a mare right next to him going to a barrel race in the line for an exhibition, and
Yeah,
you wouldn't even know he's a stud. So, trying
That's
to
a
keep
very
it
good
that way through
yeah.
his start of his
Good mind.
career.
That's important.
I
I'm
got some,
hoping he'll be my next rodeo
I got some
horse.
Frenchman blood out there. Huh?
Yeah, there. You know what? I mean, we had talked to our vet. He said he had saw a 2-year-old halter broke Frenchman's guy, and this was before he even passed. $60,000.
Damn.
I mean, if you guys watch I'm sure y'all don't watch the pink buckle sale, but
I know about him though.
I mean, it's a lot of money that's in these breeding programs, and it's insane the stock these horses hold. I know it's a lot of money and a lot of time, but it really truly is an investment if you can keep things solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's, me doing what I do with hay, that's how I got into this industry with fraternity horses, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Cause, I started selling hay, and then you start trading hay for horses, and, then it starts
Don't
working
tell me
out.
that. I'm in the hay business
So-
tomorrow.
You start doing that kind of stuff, and it's not so much a big of a hit that way. And
Yeah.
it's cool. I start to get to know a lot of people and doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, even horse shopping
Definitely.
now, I've been looking for an open horse. You're paying a house payment.
Pretty.
I mean, $60,000 to $200,000.
6 digits sometimes.
Yeah,
pretty
you
easy.
know.
60's the beginning.
Yeah, 60 is like they're just barely ready to open. You want to go down the road and place in some pro rodeos, you're paying 100 to 200,000. And if that's your job, I guess. But in my mind, WPRA isn't paying enough. I mean, if you're not getting into those
The Grand Canyon Rodeo, the
Yeah.
amateur rodeo just don't pay enough
if you're
around
not
here.
getting into those really good incentivized programs, man, it's hard. But you buy the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
you buy the dream.
Yeah, if you can understand if you're going to make the finals on a horse, you're going to spend 200,000 for. It's kind of what you're
Absolutely.
going to make that year to get there. So
How was the Lucky Bucky?
Lucky Bucky's doing
Like
good.
that horse.
He's doing good. He rode him at Pendleton, which is pretty cool.
He
in the
did.
grass, and he
Yeah.
did really good.
I think I
won
saw
lot
a
of
picture
money
of
off
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
saw
gonna
a
be
picture
cool
of
for you to watch.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. I love watching them two rope together.
Tell people what Lucky Bucky
Lucky
is.
Bucky's a good heel horse of mine. I sold to Junior Noguera.
Uh-huh.
I had him for about 3 years, and he was a good horse. He got his name from every time we get in the short go, ready to win something.
So
All of a sudden, this Loper, the best steer in the herd, would just come through there and just easy to catch. And he was such a he
He always draws well. I don't know. He always draws well.
He always draws really good. Always.
Yeah, don't ask
So
for
I
the rhyme or reason.
I
it just
think
works.
the Crown B made a video, highlight video. You guys can check out on YouTube if you search Caesar's name. I'm sure somewhere in there it's gonna pop up. But we did like a
Roper's mixtape.
Yeah, it's called the Roper's mixtape. We did like a 3 or 4 minute video of his highlights. Man, that was a cool tape.
Yeah.
And I think Lucky
Yeah.
Bucky is on that. I think somewhere maybe at the end.
No,
I think
I'm
it was a
pretty sure
Vegas
he
roping.
is because
Yeah,
he was the thumbnail.
Was it Vegas? Did you take him to
Yeah,
Vegas?
I'm taking to Vegas.
Yeah.
I think you did, yeah.
He was, I think that was the last place I took him to. Was the outdoor arena over there.
Oh
He
yeah.
did, yeah.
You're wearing your red shirt.
Yeah,
I know that video.
It was. Yeah. So check that out, man.
Yeah,
And,
people love that series. I feel like that's something you should bring back. A lot of the kids up in Wickenburg are like, "Hey, why don't you make any more episodes?" I'm like, "Oh,
That's when Tanner's on.
yeah, Tanner's on that one too."
It's a dope little video.
Oh, for sure.
It's a dope little video.
For sure.
Video, yeah.
We got a kick out of that stuff. I'd like to start doing some of that stuff over here too.
That's cool. Huh?
Definitely.
Little just music. Just like we grew up. I mean, I kind of grew up on the Hork Dog ropings, and I got to compete at those ropings.
Yeah.
He just has music in the background. He'll have a good run in slow motion, and
Well, yeah, I
you
mean,
just
think
do the
about all the,
highlights of the roping.
yeah,
You
all
don't
the
do
time
legs or
you're
barriers. Yeah,
driving. You know, the first thing you do is flip your phone on to watch. I mean, that's what I do.
Sure.
Flip your phone on.
People
to
are probably
watch
watching this
something.
podcast being like, where'd they get these guys?
Old school. In my truck, I used to have a DVD player, and I put the Hork Dog in there, and I'd flop up and
Yeah,
like,
just watch
listen
the
to
same
music and
episode
watch
over.
roping on. Yeah. And just, I went many miles on the Hork Dog roping.
If they talk about another breeding program.
Roping show that they had forever, and it was like, do you remember that one?
No, the roping show with Tyler Magnus. That's what he's
Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyler was cool.
Yeah.
And he like did an episode of George's too. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they bannered off the arena with the total feed spanners. You know, that was a dope episode. I was like, oh, it's George's.
Uncle George. Uncle George is
that
famous.
guy.
Yeah.
Uncle George is famous. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That George was like, he was already on the map. I mean, they went to the NFR and stuff. You know,
I feel like
But-
anybody you talk to. We were at the vet the other day for that stud getting bit by a snake, and there was a gal there getting a horse doctored, and that's how she knew. She's like, "Oh, I knew you from George's place," and I feel like anybody you talk
yeah,
to
it's true.
That was Uncle
has
George.
something
Yeah.
to do with old Mr.
So,
R.
like, if all the
It's like
viewers-
everybody's uncle.
Like, and when you flip through the episodes, like on your guys' Instagram page and stuff, like you flip through, you're like, oh, goes big cowboy there, world cowboy there, you know, and this, and we get to George. Like, not a lot of America knows who George is, right? But I mean, really, the man's a staple here in Arizona. If you know Arizona team roping, you know your Uncle George.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
And Uncle George will take you in at 1:00 in the morning. There's a pen over there right off I-10, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? You can pull right off there in Casa Grande.
I won my first all-girl roping.
Yeah, see, everybody's got a memory there too. Speaking of memories, RT.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge one.
Yeah, a good friend of yours
Yep.
back in the day,
Yep.
and then
Big buddy.
my brother Phil.
Yep.
Got to spend some
His-
time together. Phil.
Yeah, that's his-
Shout out to brother Phil for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah,
Good
we
time.
golfed the other day.
yeah.
Good time.
He whooped me the first time, and I don't know if we really defined who won the last match, but you know what I did. You know what I did.
So we
that,
have
yeah, got the W.
our next barrel race and roping is at the Wild Horse Pass, November 16th and 17th.
yeah, good
so
plug.
we always go and check the ground, even though Prada del Sol's been going on, or I believe that's the name of the rodeo there at Scottsdale. I want to see the ground. I want to put my hands on the ground. I want, barrel racers are crazy about ground.
Water truck. Make sure the water truck's on
Yeah,
hand.
I
What
need to
tractor?
walk
What kind of
and
drag's
see
on
it
there?
for myself. So we got to go spend the weekend out there, and it's a really, really cool.
It's cool. We
facility.
played.
Not
I
too
played.
many
I played with your brother.
involved, yeah.
Yeah, it was dope. Nice
What's
course.
the roping format going to be?
So it is. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Go
It's
ahead.
a 9.5 and an 11.5. Correct.
So I think we kind of found our niche with that last little roping being. So we'll do roping 9.5, 11.5 is kind of be a staple for us. Okay, but then the next roping will be
I'm
like
pulling up the flyer.
I'll
just
always
to be
have a
sure.
I'll always try to get a 13.5 in there on the next one.
That the truck
and
roping.
then
will
like
be
the
a
truck
13.5.
roping is 13.5 with a 10.5 truck roping. And then, but that's not till December. But that November one there is a 9.5, 11.5. We're giving away. If you've ever gone into Tractor Supply, okay, these things are cool. I'm
We
giving
use
away
them everywhere,
Look, I
all
can
the
buy
barrel
whatever I
races.
want to give you all guys as prizes, okay? But I'm giving you what makes sense. That's what we do with the Crown B Range, all right? So check this out, man. If you've ever gone to a Tractor Supply and you look at all the cool little go-karts and the little and you're like, damn, 1,500, damn, $3,000. Oh man, I want that though. I bought one day. Okay, I bought that $1,500 the little mini
He
bike,
has
right?
literally rode the parts off that thing.
Yeah,
literally.
the little mini bike. It's got fat tires. It's the black one. You put the little batteries in it. And I swore I'd never buy anything electric, but I made an exception for this bike alone. All right, folks, because I walk by it every day, every Monday when I buy my feed.
Well, if you got tired of walking the grounds of barrel
Man,
races.
I tell you what, I load that thing right up with my horses. I get to the roping, boom, entry office, bam, right back. And the cool thing about it qualifiers is, and I'm gonna plug them right now. Greenworks, check it out. I need a deal on 4 for the November roping.
Yeah,
But the cool thing
Greenworks.
about that thing is that like you can ride up on horses, you can ride up on the
It's
barn.
quiet.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Not a sound. A horse won't even turn a leg. No old man will look at you like, you brought that over here, boy. You know, like, yeah.
Everybody loves them. Like every time we use them at the barrel race, people are like, "Oh, those things are so cool." You know, they're little.
yeah.
I mean, they're
So
like a
quiet.
mini
Yeah,
bike,
yes.
but
And like if you're 3, you can
battery
ride it.
goes forever. You don't have. I mean, you got big facilities. Everybody uses those hoverboards. I can't get with that. So we use
never
little
had one.
motorcycles.
Well, I'm thinking like when I go to
can't either.
Vegas because I park in the Syntex parking lot.
Yeah.
It's way the hell.
Yeah, you need
It's
something.
too
Yeah.
far.
You know what? You should just buy like 4 or 5 of them and then like rent them
Rent 'em
out. That's a new
At the
business
entry
idea.
office, yeah.
I'm always thinking new ideas.
You better make the parking far away though.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So
sounds good.
9.5 and 11, huh? 11.
Yeah,
That's
9.5
cool.
and 11.5.
I'm about to check that out. It's up my alley.
Yeah,
right
and
there
so
at the road.
you can find that on the first. Crown B's got the first 4 pages of the jackpot this month, so check
Yeah.
that out right there.
Yeah, so then
Yep.
we have the jackpot Sunday for the roping, barrel race is Saturday, and then we're December 21st and 22nd, and this will be our second. We have brought All American qualifiers to Arizona,
Very cool.
so
Oh, wow.
we are the very first BBR co-approved All American qualifiers. We just qualified 3 girls at our last race in December, September,
Yep.
and then we'll have 3 more girls get qualified in December.
Yeah, I mean those girls. It's cool because they come right here, Southwest. You know, you don't get that American qualifier right here. You have girls that work hard right here in Arizona.
Yeah.
We got a girl who, she kind of rides for the brand, right? And she posts on her stories all the time. Shout out to Faith, right? What's
Faith
her-
Hudson?
Yeah, Faith Hudson. You can find her on Instagram too. She's on her links and stuff. But that girl's up at just like all of us in the summertime. But man, she's up there grinding 3:30, 4:30.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go to Texas, Oklahoma to go to these qualifiers, and you're going through some pretty gritty. I mean, we had girls from Texas come and run at our qualifier. We had girls from California come run at our qualifier. So I think it's really nice to bring that here because back down south that's a big deal, and now they get a chance to go to semifinals in Texas to run for $1 million.
You don't get to go for $1 million.
That's awesome.
I
Very
mean,
much for this
no,
game.
no,
So it's
it's-
kind of like
it's-
a once in a lifetime rodeo.
It was a big
opportunity.
thing for me to check off and bring
Cool.
for people, and it's for males and females. So, I mean, everybody gets a run at it.
No question.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
It is cool. So you're gonna do there, and then like you said, Rawhide.
Rawhide's November, Scottsdale December, and then we're up in Wickenburg at the rodeo grounds there in February for the Wapapalooza.
Yeah, the Wapapalooza. Do you know what that stands for?
Uh-uh.
Gonna
We
get paid
can't
that
tell it on
long.
this podcast, y'all.
What
We're bringing the big money to Wickenburg.
the Rawhide one is a roping too?
Yes, so Saturday, that's the 16th and 17th of November. Saturday's the barrel race, Sunday's the team roping.
Cool.
And then December 21st, 22nd, just the 21st is a team roping, barrel racing 2 days.
That's a
With that
Dodge
American-
truck we're giving away.
Yeah.
It's a 2024 black. I mean, this thing is beautiful. It has nothing but the Crown B Ranch
Yeah, it's
brand
gonna
on
be
it.
really cool.
Yeah, you're gonna know where you got it or where you want it at.
Yeah, where
Really?
you
Yeah,
want
it.
yeah, that's
And
right.
then after that, we're up in Wickenburg, and then we're going to Andrews, West Texas in March.
Yeah, cool.
So
And
we
so,
got a big schedule this year.
Very cool.
good stuff.
Very cool.
Long way.
Cool.
Oh,
Long way.
Well, Jay, I want to talk to you a little bit about, you talked about your tats a little while ago. When did it all start with you? What age did you start? I mean, you come from the hood in Patagonia. That's
This
where
is
you're
true.
Born and raised.
This is true.
there's a hood in Patagonia.
It's
Oh,
pretty,
yeah.
like it's a
Got it, guy.
cowboy kind of it's a tough community over there. Like you gotta.
I mean, I
Old
feel like
West, that kind of consists
in the early 2000s, it was wild.
So before you start,
Go ahead.
when I think of a hood, I think of like
ghetto.
where I came from in Tolleson. There's
slums.
many multi streets, low riders.
No, they're
that,
probably more hood in Tulsa.
but I think
Yeah.
your hood is like what I would say like ranchers and like
Yeah.
the kind of wild west
Yes.
It's like a-
that style.
the Wild West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would think anybody, and I'm young for some of the, so I don't want to speak on some of the OGs who did things before I did or whatnot. But like I will tell you that like coming from down there, there's not a ton of opportunity. And I know we hear that same old, with,
Song and dance.
yeah, song and dance, but like you grow up
8 miles from the border.
Yeah, like you're
Yeah.
just on there. There's a lot of opportunity that presents itself that you probably should say no to. But being a young kid and you're just trying to
It's the
get
bootlegger days back then.
yeah, and exactly like so people look at that stuff, bootlegging back in the 40s and the 30s. It's the same thing from 96 to 2011. Okay?
Bootlegging.
Yeah, bootlegging weed.
Yeah, it was a weed game of
Yeah, like the
bootleggers.
people, like, there were backpackers coming up over that border, bringing 40 pounds each. These guys strap it on their back, and they come over 5 nights. If it took them 5 nights, took them 2 nights, 3 nights, and I mean that's what people did for income down there. Like the town of Patagonia is crazy. If you ever go down, it's so beautiful, man. They have a bird sanctuary and stuff like that. But in that time frame that I just referenced, you had people who had single wides but have a SL 500 parked right outside. Okay.
Yeah.
People would have like, maybe, and this is in the early 2000s, people would have a 90s Ferrari out, and you're kind of like, what are
How'd
these
they
things
get
going?
that?
Right. And there's some, I might be a little extreme with the Ferrari, but like a Hummer, stuff like that,
Yeah.
And so like, things as a youngster, you were like, hey, I want to be that. Plus, we all grew up with corrido music. Like, let's keep it real, man. Like, if you're from down
Oh,
here,
you went down to Mexico.
Yeah, you
to
know
have
who else
fun,
that-
to
yeah.
drink at 16.
Exact-
That's how it was when we grew up.
exactly. And I'm not telling any of these stories to boast or brag. Like, if we're doing anything tonight, we're
No, those days are well over.
yeah, we're
those days
learning
are
from
long
we
gone.
learned from all them and stuff like that. But I'll tell you that maybe we learned that we can set examples and I don't know how to.
Well, I think that way of life is not the same now. Weed is now legal. It's a little different. The
That's
things
true.
that are thriving out of Mexico are not the same things that were thriving back in the early 2000s. It's just a whole different darkness, I
True.
guess.
I think part of the thing for me too is like that I didn't so much like the money was good and stuff like that, but I don't really think that that's what attracted me. What attracted me is like, the music,
the lifestyle.
yeah, the lifestyle,
it's fun.
Yeah, I
being in
get it.
Mexico, being respected,
I get that part of it. Like I'm more Mexican than white,
Yeah, I agree too. And there's a ton of white boys who are like that here too. Like you grow up, yes, I'm proud to be white. I'm Irish at heart. You feel me? Like eyes
It's a
are green,
lifestyle here.
But like, I did grow up down here, and there's no taking that out of me.
Oh, for sure.
And being from Patagonia and stuff like that, that stuff was gonna pop up, and we did it as kids. We got crazy, we got busted a couple times. We did
Well,
time.
border town were popping then. I mean, there was clubs, there were bars. You go down there now, it's not like that. Everything's shut down. There's no, what was it, Mr.
like this,
Seniors?
let's just so the strip clubs from is this 2RX?
Oh, you're going.
clubs.
Yeah, strip clubs going on.
There's clickbait. There's clickbait right there.
Yeah, they're still there. Okay.
I don't know about that though.
2-story club that was down there.
But
That was
that
popular.
was a reflection. Speaking of reflections again, that was a reflection of when things were popping in, they're big money,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and like that those clubs were packed. People know why they were packed, and it was kind of places you jump.
The
off at.
businesses were packed. You go down there now, all those businesses are shut down. Restaurants are shut down. Clubs aren't even there.
True Chewy's is gone.
Everything is just, it's not really, that's why I say it's like the bootlegger of our day, because, back then alcohol was taken away, it was illegal, and then now we sell it. Weed was
So-
illegal, now we sell it. Like,
You can't figure it out.
yeah, it's a
One-
whole different life.
One of the things that like now we go back to like doing the podcast, right? So we're talking about, I'm putting on this podcast, doing these 3 episodes, when can I talk about that? Right? I'm the host, like I can't
Oh,
be
yeah,
myself. I can't talk about what I've been through. We talk about it now because I want to set an example for these youngsters out here that check it out. You can overcome some of those things. You can build yourself up, do good in life. I did over 14 years in prison. State prison and federal prison. And, I held my head up high. I never checked in. I never hit the door. I was a man, did what I had to do when I had to do it. I fought when I had to fight. Basketball court was most of that.
I would come to visit, and
yeah.
his face would be black.
Yeah, you want to come get it? Come
Yeah,
get it.
and he would. I was like, "What happened to you?" He's like, "Oh, I got on the basketball court." I'm like, "You're so full of shit. What really happened?"
I was a
to
boss.
You?
I was a boss. You should have
He's
seen me.
like, "No, it's really the basketball court." I don't. To this day, I was always like, "I don't believe you."
I don't know about black shit.
No, but you had like a busted eye.
Oh, yeah, I fought.
It
Like,
would get a little feisty
I think
on
in
the
prison
court.
in there, it's like, so like, I think we kind of touched on a little bit earlier when you and I were talking outside and stuff like that. Like in prison, to hold your head high and never get beat up by your people or checked, go check in. When I say check in, that means you go to the cops and say, I can't be on this yard no more. Okay?
Yeah.
I can sit here right now, look at this camera, and tell you I ain't never checked in 14 years. I never went off a yard, and holding my head high. So I'm just trying to say that where are we getting at?
That you're tough. That you don't put up with any shit.
When it called for it, pretty much.
Yeah, like I got
Before
lost there.
it's
I'm just trying to say that, after all that life I went through, and after some of
Yeah,
that,
you made a very successful life.
my father died when I was in prison. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to go to his funeral. And that's a terrible thing. I'll never be able to get back. Birthdays, Christmases, weddings. All those kind of things.
Life.
Missed out there.
Yeah.
So
It's not cool, kids.
no, not
Stay
at
in
all.
school.
Not at all.
I watch a lot of Boozy Badass.
Yeah.
Rapper.
we
So-
right
I love I love that guy. I love that guy, and
Me
he
too.
talks about what you just talked about right there, and coming from speaking for Boozy, game recognized game for what you just said.
Yeah, okay.
I never been through that lifestyle, and I don't know nothing about it, but I've listened to his ass talk about it enough to know what you just said. He stands behind
No,
it.
for real.
I get
man.
it. I know what that
It
means.
was so like if we really want to get crazy, you want me to tell a little couple of stories? It's like it's so political in there. Like you'll have 6,000 people maybe on the yard total, two sides, 3,000 each. How do those folks live? Right? They got to have a society too. We have to build rules and we have to live by those, and those things have to be followed, or else the city won't work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a city within the whole city or within the state or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it. But
It's its own city.
yeah, and I mean, there's rules there.
Your own rules.
Yeah, definitely things you gotta follow, and like some people just don't do those things. So,
Well, it's a great story because I know it's crime doesn't pay for sure. Like they will find you.
for sure.
You will get in trouble.
so,
Not
so
only- yeah.
yeah, and like I was busted for weed trafficking, so like I never did anything to anybody or hurt anybody or anything like that or crazy things like that. But yeah, those things probably could. Now it's legal.
Yeah.
So you can go in the store and buy it now.
That's crazy.
and,
You do 14
I
years
sat
of your
14
life for when
years
you can go.
looking through a glass window, being like, "What's for chow?" Like signing was for chow, and now like I go into the store, and they
With your ID and can get it
yeah,
right
and
across the
shout out to
counter.
Halo and Tucson. Like I'm gonna tag them in this little clip here. But no, those are the folks down there. So we should actually, speaking of that, we should do I know they already have horse CBD. Maybe we could do a
Yeah,
THC
that would
horse
be
line
something
for like
cool.
recovering horses or something.
Yeah. That's kind of,
Maybe horses coming off the track.
yeah.
I don't know.
maybe
Who knows where it could lead? Right here,
Never know.
Tolleson-Mack podcast.
Here's your plug, Halo.
Well,
No, I think they're actually going to be, I want to say this, I think they're actually going to be at one of our events. They're going to hand out information packets. They might have some other stuff for them, T-shirts and stuff like that. The dispensary down there in Tucson, Halo, they're going to come through. So that'll be pretty cool.
That's you got a great story, and like when you got out, you got your priorities straight.
Thank you.
Really
Yes, sir.
focused, and like you said, you started getting into real estate,
Yep.
moving, buying.
Yeah.
You got
get-
it. Thank you
get-
for
get to
capping
work.
that off. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of everywhere we've gone, when we went to South Carolina,
Oh, yeah. This is
This-
funny. Tell them.
it never stops. In South Carolina, because obviously we're tattooed, we're
You
young,
see,
we have
and, like,
money.
Yeah.
We look very different than everybody. Everybody's old money out there, and here comes these new kids on the block from Arizona. Well, what are they doing in South Carolina? Are they witness protection? Do they work
No,
for the
these were
cartel?
those straight up
These
rumors.
are really the rumors that people at the roping
Yeah.
are telling us, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
and
I'm like, why are we going to have an Instagram if we're hiding out?
Like, we are way too viral on social media to be witness protection or
So
be
nice,
working
dude. You guys are
with
just so
the
nice talking to
law.
everybody.
Even
you know what I
when,
mean?
yeah, even when we came
Came
back,
home, we
even
got
when
the
we came
same
back
thing.
here, I kind of had to deal with a couple of things like that too. So
Yeah, they're like, who are these people? They've got to be hiding from
Look,
something. I'm
if
like,
they're
we
not-
are way not hiding, y'all.
like the saying goes, if they're not talking about you, you ain't making no moves.
Yeah.
No, you're not doing enough.
I do think like our industry, I love it with every bone in my body. I was raised in it, but it's a very hard industry. If you don't look like the average Joe, you know what I mean? There's question marks, and for such God-fearing, help your neighbor type people, they'll put the rails to
So-
you,
so she
you
says
know?
it-
Those of a shirt in this game.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, we are God fearing people ourselves, but like what she's trying to say is that like
Judgment is heavy.
yeah, the you know,
know?
if you put on productions and you put on stuff and do stuff like that, you're gonna take some shots here and there. They're gonna get you on Facebook. You're never gonna make everybody happy.
No.
Well,
That's a
we
fact.
we try to be an open book no matter what because I want to avoid that. Like, we are here for you, the people. Like, there is nothing, shady
Yeah, we
or
don't gain.
sideways.
Really,
about
we don't
us.
make a ton of money.
Oh, we don't make nothing.
I
Okay,
promise
we
you.
don't
When
make
you said it through the
nothing.
books, like there are some things that could be trimmed. There's some things that could be. But our deal was always like, hey,
Bringing
let's
big
serve
money
'em.
for everybody.
Let's serve them so that they do you right. So check this out. Like
we came in
if you
hot,
come
though.
on Facebook,
We came
if you
in
come
hot.
on Facebook and you attack us, right? Hopefully, I would have served up enough people. I'll have my own defense from them people, and that has happened
But what
already.
a crazy world that we live in right now that people feel so comfortable to attack you via social
Yeah, you're putting
media.
hundreds of thousands.
You
of
know
I
dollars
don't like
into
social media
production.
because of that reason.
It's so wild to me. Like I'm gonna call you up face to face kind of person. I'm not gonna. If we came here and had the worst experience ever, I mean, just as bad as it could be, I'm not going on and be like, "Oh, Tolleson-Mack, they're garbage. Don't listen to their podcast. Screw those guys."
We've had it.
You know what I mean? To me, that's like so brazen. Like all the hard work you put in, all the time.
True.
You got your sound guy. You guys
True.
are away from.
Shout out to our sound guy out there. All right,
You
now.
guys are away from your family. Like,
Yeah, what up, Craig? All right.
but to me, it's like so brazen. Like my vibe is not to drag
Craig,
you.
hold on,
Like,
time out. Craig gives me vibes when I feel like nothing's
You're
going on. I look out there, he'll be smiling. I'll be like, yeah, let me get back on this thing.
He's your hype man out there.
It starts with the Suns hat, homie.
Important.
Ah.
No, but it's just like it's such a dog eat dog world. Like I see it all day long, because I am our promoter. Like I do all of our promotional work. So I'm making flyers and pumping this and pumping that. and
Computer
ads,
constant,
ads,
man,
like,
in the car,
Yeah.
double checking, sending confirmation emails, everything. But that's our job.
But
That's our
I'm
job.
so OCD, like I won't give that job to anybody else because I want to meet you at the check-in office and say, "You're who I've spoken to. Thank you.
You're
Thank
not
you for
gonna
your
get a
hard
third
work."
party
Yeah.
wheel here.
That's
Yeah.
important to me. But man, it's so hard. It's
Me
just,
too. When our roping ran, so we only expected to have so many, whatever, this summer, whatever, banger, right? People came, right? And that thing went on till 3. I was out there 3 o'clock in the morning apologizing. Hey, my bad,
Shaking
we didn't know we were
everybody's
gonna
hand.
get this many teams, but let's get it. Keep going,
We were praying for 300 and got 900.
That's,
In June. What?
Crazy.
that's wild.
Yeah, and shout out to Garrett Sanders for winning that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
won it.
Garrett Sanders, Carlos Reyes got the saddles in the 9.5 with the.
I mean, they were out there.
Blasted them.
Yeah,
They were out there
yeah.
up until 9 in the morning. I mean, the sun came up and they're roping the short round. Like, it was
awesome.
wild.
Yeah, it was great roping, great time, man. Look, check it out, everybody out there, man. We really, really appreciate. And look, we're always gonna have our own opinions. Her and I, this is how we are. But we love this industry. We love
do.
team roping.
We
We
do.
love barrel racing. I feel like that my kids are being raised in this industry. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, we
So
want to just make it better.
everything that we are is because of the people out there sharing the videos, believing in us,
Entering
believing in
in
the
our
Crown B
events,
Ranch.
yeah.
Let's talk about your babies. That's pretty neat. I know.
Our babies, we're
That-
such parents.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You're very proud. That's another thing, Jay's. When he started having his babies, you can see the whole totally.
Yeah. Oh
difference
no,
in
no.
his
My life
eyes.
changed when I had my daughter, and like I got out, had my daughter, like right away. Like the first time I saw her, I've never looked back. Period. Like straight up, man to
And you're
man.
talking
like
from a man going in and out of prison.
yeah,
his whole
all my life. Yeah. Until like as soon as I saw that little girl, I was just like,
Time to get life
Like
right.
here it is,
Time to
man
get
up,
down.
man
Time to
up.
get
You
down.
want to come home later tonight? You're gonna have to wake up to that beautiful face. Is that what you want? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want that life, and like I look at her, man. She's the light of my eye.
Yeah, I
just
would-
like all of our kids.
I would definitely say she's huge
And then,
in your
and then
success.
my wife gave me a boy. Holla. A cute.
That's the little love of my life. Don't look at him cross-eyed. I'll go to prison.
Hey.
That's
I
for sure.
love that. You
Good
guys
job.
have all boys.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Look
you
at the
guys
full
are three
cast.
boys.
Yeah.
I need some tips on how to slow mine down, boy.
Yeah. You're just gonna have to turn
You
loose.
told us the last time we were opening at your house. You said they just want to be outside.
Yeah.
And it is
You're
so
right. 100.
true.
In the
Yeah.
dirt
He
with the tractor.
With no shoes on.
A key.
Yes, exactly. We call him
that's
our
good.
hippie child.
That's
you know?
the soul of the ground, like
He's
they
got,
say.
like,
It's
long curly hair. People freaking call him a girl all the time. Drives us crazy.
He's Achilles.
Oh, but yeah,
It's Achilles, yeah.
Good boy. And,
Yeah.
and
Achilles
I told
Atticus.
you when he was just. I think he wasn't really walking when I saw him, and then I told you when he walks, you're gonna be in trouble.
Oh.
Oh man, you
Gone.
can't keep up with
He keeps us running. He's a lot of fun. He loves
No.
the horses. You can't get him off a horse.
That's
I
awesome.
think he's really gonna be a hand. Like you can't take him to a roping and let him out because he just wants to
Horses.
run at everybody's horse and thinks they're all as broke as our horses, you know.
Yeah, he's going to take.
I'm excited to see.
I'm
what
glad
he
you guys
does.
are, doing this for the Arizona people and
Yes.
going to different. I like that your idea about some guys would never be able to go rope at Rawhide, and maybe their dad or uncle did back in the day, or you know what I mean. I like that. You're bringing a little bit different to it, and and I was in the industry for like 4 years with
Yeah.
roping cattle, so I know exactly what you guys are going through, and I know
Totally.
I know that the whole story with that thing, so I respect it. I mean,
Thank
Appreciate
you. Thank
that,
you
man.
for
Thank
saying
you.
that.
Yeah, for sure.
it was a double-edged sword for me. I loved it and I hated it at the same time. And if I didn't have my other deal going on with my farming, it would have been a different story. But
I think
it just took a lot of time for me. But
Sure.
Yeah.
but no, I think it's cool. I know how hard it is. I've been through.
Yes.
I've produced
Thank you
rope
for
with my-
saying
that's what I was going to say too. I was like, people think we're.
You just show up and pull up. It's
No.
like, I mean, I'm up till 3 a.m. the week prior to the race. I can't sleep. Like, I'm thinking about everything we got to get done and what needs to be done the next day, and just to make sure that everybody has a Class A experience from the time they walk in or drive in, really, to that facility to the time they drive out. It's important.
And I was a lot like you. Like I wanted to meet all these people, to see, because I saw right through them. They saw me coming. They knew I didn't know shit about it. I was a farmer. I just went to a buying spree. I just started buying cattle, and I just wanted to make it happen so bad. Like I just got tunnel vision.
I 100% understand.
And I
this.
went like that, and it just who cares the cost? Because at the end of the day, they didn't pencil out to me. You know what I mean? So I didn't care the cost
You
at
did
that
it for the
point.
love.
I wanted to make just to prove it, to see if I could do it. And that's why I got Caesar and Tanner, and I put a bunch of pros with me to help me get there a little quicker.
You had a good.
But the problem was the biggest thing is when I feel so underappreciated is when you put all these steers together. You do all this work, all this roping, rent the facility, get the insurance, to the bathrooms,
Thank you.
all this bullshit,
Yes.
and it takes one person just to
Just to-
fucking bring the vibe down.
Right no, he is speaking the
It is
truth
absolute
right
truth.
now,
And
and it is our jobs, yes, but he is speaking truth. There will be that one person that's going to try to take that.
And
vibe.
you will think you just peed in their Wheaties,
Yeah.
how mad they are because their steer look left out of that chute.
Well,
If you could just keep your cool together, those people will be back. You know what
Yes.
I mean? It's just kind of try to
I
hold.
feel like that's my superpower.
That was how George was. You know what I mean? If they really don't want to show up and not ever come back, that's fine. But try to be professional as you possibly can.
For sure,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
And P.S. By the way,
They'll come back.
Yes.
yeah, definitely. I
Well,
agree.
and the other people that see, we had a couple hiccups our first race, and I had to do that. I could have hid in the trailer. I could have stayed away.
Yeah, we
or-
ate like $6,000 on a couple calls.
and I said, like, hey, I'll give you your money back. I went that far.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I
to
want
everybody.
you to come back.
Yeah.
It's not about money. I'm not here to take anything from you. I'm here to provide for you.
Mm-hmm.
And let me show you how serious I am about that. My apologies. I'm sorry. Here's your money.
Yeah.
We still got to pay the arena bill at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still got to pay the announcer crew, the ground
Secretaries.
crew, the secretary.
We just need to get. I know what we need to do. All right, Tolleson-Mack, Crown B.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and go right here somewhere Litchfield, somewhere Goodyear. Let's get
Put on a banger.
25 acres. Okay.
Put on
All
our
right, we'll
own
get
bangers.
pre-fruit on deck. All right, we'll split
So-
the land costs. We'll get pre-fruit on deck. We'll get everything donated. Okay, we'll get pre-fruit. We'll get who else?
Prefer.
Got an arena, I heard.
Yeah,
Already
yeah.
set up.
Yeah,
You gotta stay
no one has to
solid.
save the house.
No, when I take the steers, and they would jump out, there was reasons why. And some of the people that didn't own the steers, and they would talk shit. I'm like, how many steers you got at home? 10? You're telling me all 10 of the steers you got at your house are just
Run
perfect?
straight
Are
and
perfect?
hard.
No. Every time you go to someone's house, they're going to tell you, this steer's going to do this, or this steer's
Yes.
going to do everyone. Every time I've ever been to someone's house, they'll tell you what the steer does.
It's real
And I
talk,
say, you know
though.
what? Fuck you. That's what I had enough.
Yeah.
Toughen up.
Yeah.
We had that a lot. Like I said, our first race, and even this last race, it's a learning curve. But then you do get the messages from women who are beating cancer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there'll be some crazy tear jerkers up in
and
there.
they just feel the need to share these things with you. Children who've come over assault that are fighting,
Yeah, we
coming back to
appreciate
their
all
first
of
medal
that.
Race. I've had a woman whose first time coming back after an illness and a child died. Like
Yeah.
those stories really. A lot of times I'm like, is it worth it? is this worth it?
Yeah, some after
And
you
then
see the
I
negative
get,
comments.
yeah, and I
Some.
get those messages, and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah, for
we
real.
gotta keep going.
And I like the youngsters too.
Yeah,
like,
he loved the
when we talking about
kids.
faith.
Let's give Faith a shout out.
Yeah, so she's a great young lady. Don't you touch cut off. No, she won our master's race on her young 5-year-old, I think 5-year-old mare.
Yeah.
But she's a hard worker, man. I mean, she's a homeschool kid, is up at 4 a.m. to ride her horses because she lives here in Phoenix, and she grinds, and there's a lot of those kids, but it's neat to be a part
True,
of
Peyton Reese, that's another
Peyton
one.
Reese. Yeah, she
grinds, too.
works really hard. It's just cool to be a part of these kids' journey. Because if you think back to it, like I'm talking about winning my first all-girls roping at George's when I was a teenager. I'm 34. Those are huge, monumental jumps in our career.
Well, they're little memories for them too.
Yeah, it's a
when
big
they get-
deal.
go.
So it's cool to be a part of that. Keeps you trucking. Out of all the ropers, might be a little different. I don't really deal with the
I'll hang out with them.
kickback.
Yeah.
But the barrel racers are a little bit easier to piggyback there.
Half the time I'd just sit at the back and they would talk shit about the steer, and I'd be like, yeah, whose steers are these anyway? These suck. Fucking no one knew me.
I can't even tell you how many times I walked up on a story, somebody badmouthed me.
I
The
know.
other person is like,
I know.
that's her right there. Don't say nothing.
Oh man, crazy.
Yeah.
But the real ones now, looking back, I've been out of it for a while. I still I remember who was real to me, because they knew I didn't know shit about it. And some guys steered me the wrong way. They took advantage of some situations.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I go back and I'm like, you're cool. Fuck you. Fuck
Yeah,
you too.
you're able to identify that.
I took
for
receipts.
people to show their
took
true
a lot of
colors.
strict receipts.
Yeah, receipts is
Yeah,
good.
I do that. I'm like, I take note and I will not forget.
I take receipts on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
want to speak
James
up,
is real
there.
sensitive about the
They
internet.
speak up all crazy online, but then they're in the entry line waiting to enter.
Or at the next barrel race, they're really excited to talk to you, and I'm just like,
That's what I talked about. They usually come back. They usually do.
Yeah, it's gonna come back. George said that too. George told me, "Hey, you're gonna get into the running ropey's cattle business. The first, I said, motherfucker, first motherfucker is gonna talk shit. Is gonna be a motherfucker that ropes by you every day.
yeah.
Yeah, you know,
When your
think
buddies,
that,
and you
yeah,
hang
when
out
your
with
buddies is just like, oh, what the fuck, you know?
That was the hardest part for me to learn is like, people are going to have such an opinion. I would kind of take it personally at first because I'm, doing so much work. And then you almost just have to think that they're just kind of trying to follow the trend or with whoever's saying what, be cool,
just
and
not
now
happy people,
I
so.
smile and say hello to
Do we
every
sound like
single
unhappy people?
person. I do. I just make a point to be like, hey, how are you? So good to see you.
Hey,
They
old buddy,
hate
old
that.
pal.
They can't stand it. I love it.
Yeah. You definitely got to give them some.
Well, you can't make anybody happy. Everybody happy.
I told him to go home.
Yes, by the second day, you're just shot.
I was just the cattle guy and a lot of it. Most of the times I just brought my steers and I didn't produce, but I produced probably 20 of them in my life.
That's a good amount.
Something like that. But I just did like World Series and stuff like that. I just take them places and that was a lot easier.
Yeah. Definitely. I think.
Yeah.
Still,
I know
what
what
you're
you're gonna
gonna
say.
say.
I think that Weddle, he feels like that too. With us, like he does that part, I do mine, and
Well, shoot,
it's
for
kind
him-
of good to have that cattle
guy is really
because
important.
like when the steer's bad, he can be like, oh, talk to the producer. When the steer's bad, he can be like, talk to the cattleman.
Talk to the flagger.
You might want to go get the flagger. Hey, you come to me, I'm like, give him another steer.
Yeah, I give it to him.
Yeah.
You don't understand because there's
We're
a
such
ton of
push-ups.
time.
they're gonna miss.
I
this
write
cowboy
down
anyway.
notes.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Give them another steer.
Yeah.
They never gonna win on
Why
it.
not? Because there's a ton. Yeah, I cannot. But I'm low level of roper. Like I don't want to sit here and tell you all that I'm like some number 8 or 9 because I'm not. Right, very novice. But I'll tell you this: that like I do look back down at the flagger, and I'm like, are you gonna give me another one? Like I
They
do
give you
look
another
for
guy,
that.
they'll give you another one. I mean,
Yeah,
fucking all-
9 times out of 10, you speak up, they'll give you one.
9 out of
It's
10.
true.
Yeah, and 9 out of 10 times I got something to say about that, but I'm gonna leave.
Hey,
We're gonna
you know
leave
what it is
that. I
though?
already
It's
know where
cowboy
you're going.
justice though,
Right.
because they'll give you another one, and if you're like a number 9 or 8 team, like, all right, you think you catch another one? You think you catch
Yeah.
four and 5 in a row?
Exactly.
Good luck. Go
Yeah.
get another one.
Yeah.
And usually, the guys that
Somebody's
that
gonna
were
miss.
kind of bitching
The
on
last
too much,
time-
they'll miss.
Yeah,
the
the
guys that need to know, deserve
That
no
just
catch.
happened. Actually,
The last
James.
time-
So every time, cowboy justice.
The last time it happened to me, I was in Wilcox with a roping, okay, and like a guy came down there and put on a roping, Okay.
Right before with the Rex Island
Right.
days.
I like it. It's good roping, good people. They put on a roping. Let's just leave it at that, right? But like, steer was not a very good steer. Just the one. I'm not saying about his cow. Just the one was bad, and it's like drug or whatnot. I threw it, hit it on the side, fell in the dirt. It's,
Steer.
but he drove a long way, right? Automatically, I look back. He doesn't even look at me. He's just looking at the next team. So I already know I ain't getting it.
Oh, well, this isn't the one I'm talking about. Then I said before.
It happens a
Rex
lot
Island
for your
days,
boy.
it was- Well, we were just there before Rex Island days at that roping. That's what I thought you were talking about. But you're
this is
talking
the
about
one.
an older one.
Oh, I
Yeah.
still-
Anyway,
so
Stop it.
he doesn't look back at me, and
Greg
I'm like,
cut his mark.
damn, I really got to go say some shit on this one. Like for real, that shit drug, like I don't care if it's for $40. Shit drug, So like, I ride back down there, man. I'm gonna say something, So I ride back down there, and I'm like, what's up? Can I get another steer? And he's like, oh, I didn't drag that bad. I said, I don't, he drug, bro. And I was like, he didn't say anything, and I'm like, oh, you want to come down here, and put on ropings? You got to treat these people nicely. They're not gonna come back when they get draggers like that. You don't give them another one, okay? He's like, fine, have another one. Cool. Back in the box. Huh?
Thank you.
Yeah. Got in the box. I'm like, I'm gonna hammer this bat. I promise you, I'm gonna hammer this one, right? Swung around corner, swung around corner. Boom! I hit my partner's rope. It was as bad as me spilling this drink right now. I promise you. I wanted to just ride out the back of the arena right to the trailer.
Yeah.
But I had to
Get all your other your other.
The flagger was like,
Cows.
I mean,
Yep.
see?
I looked at my partner like, what are
Like
you
it was
doing
his
over there? Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Anybody but me. And so I got a little karma there, but I felt like I still needed the new steer. To this day, it was still a dragger.
I said what I said.
Yeah. But no, it's just good people. Anybody who goes down to Wilcox and puts on roping, good people. It's a long way down there. There's our huge. So we are in the St. David area. And so that's St. David, Benson, Wilcox, Tombstone, Douglas. You have Justin Lawson. He's putting on some ropings down there. I share some of his stuff
That's
on
the
the
one
page.
I thought you were talking
Yeah,
about.
so we just went to one of his in
Yeah.
Wilcox. And then the Grinders, they come and put some TJ Grinder in there, come put some ropings on there in Wilcox too. So anybody comes down there, man, it's more than welcome because there's a huge, that's your old partner's,
Cowboys.
that's your
There
old
is a
partner's stomping ground right
Cowboys
there.
down
All night
there.
roping.
And we see
Yeah.
them,
All night.
and we see them too with the roping. They go to the
All
rope.
the
He takes his
times.
kids, and him and his wife go, and so we see them all.
Yeah,
the
they're
time
great
down there.
people. I really adore them.
I'm just getting to know them a little bit, but
Awesome.
good folks. And so like, there's a whole culture that like he's I've noticed it. I don't know if this is how it is, but this is how I've noticed it. Okay, I'll tell you how I feel. All right. So like, there's this culture of people who look up to him down there.
Yes.
Right. Man,
they really idolize him.
yeah, they rope. They want to rope like him. They want to dress like him.
This
Coulter
Coulter
Todd.
Todd, all of his kids rope good. Carly
Yeah.
ropes good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a high standard now.
Denim shirts were selling like
No,
crazy.
wait, wait, stop. Right now, okay. So this is with all due respect
I
because
cannot.
not only is he the most like he's like I look
Iconic.
up to
He's
him.
iconic.
Yeah, he's in our parts
the
down
Marvel
there.
Man.
Like guys look up to that dude for real. And like so when
What
I
do
say
you
this,
call
I
them,
say it
Jay
with the
James?
most
What do
up.
you call them?
I mean, no, I don't. So he has the denim shirt, right? So I call him the blue shirt gang
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They all wear blue
because
shirts.
they go to ropings and when they
and they're
go,
gonna take your
yeah,
money.
and when they go to ropings.
Within a 100-mile radius around there, they all wear their
Oh,
the
yep.
blue shirt.
Yeah.
He
They
calls them
don't
the blue
need-
shirt gang.
No, they don't need They don't need no sponsors. They
No.
don't do that thing. That's not their thing. Their thing is, hey, I'm showing up in this denim and I'm gonna take them checks.
And not only that, what I love about them is they're all so quiet and
Polite.
respectful
Yeah,
and
that whole clique
polite,
of his is
but
very
they
good.
are sharks.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care that
out
the
for
youngest is what, maybe 8 or 9.
The Travin is,
Is he
I
the-
believe he's 14.
Oh, 14.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I mean, they all rope fantastic. They've got everybody around them who ropes. Like, it's a culture down there.
That's
You're
cool.
right.
I'm glad you said that because I was just about to say it and I was like, oh, cool.
So we went to the jackpot the other night.
Somebody
He had,
notices too.
he had a blue T-shirt on. He's like, I'm part of the blue shirt gang
I
tonight.
was like, it was a t-shirt just like this.
So, dude, you pearl snaps.
That old
I should
Wranglers.
have like put a magic marker or something.
And he had like an O'Reilly surf shirt on.
No. I think Coulter, he's just like everybody looks up to
Class
him, and yeah, down there, and Carly too, like all them.
Yeah.
So they've been very welcoming to us down there in that area.
They're good
Not-
people.
They really
Yeah.
are.
So
I really enjoyed
shout
them.
out to them.
Well, shoot, we're kind of getting to the end of the
Man, this is
podcast
crazy.
here.
This went fast, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome. It was an awesome podcast.
Okay,
You
cool.
want to give one more time a shout out of the Ropens and the dates and how to
let's
get a
do it.
hold of the Crown B stuff?
So November 16th and 17th, we're in Chandler, Arizona at Rawhide Arena. I was going to say casino, but it's the Wild Horse Pass Casino. December, we're in Scottsdale. We'll be in the Equidome for the barrel race outdoor arenas for the team roping. Yep. That's at Westworld in Scottsdale. And then we will be at, is it Everett Bowman? Is that the correct name of the arena in Wickenburg in February?
And then in Andrews.
Yep.
Texas.
And then Andrews, Texas will be
But-
there.
Yep, and so let's just focus on this first one coming up
Yeah.
here. Let's go.
November
I'm trying to
17th,
have
team
you-
roping.
Yeah, and I want this to be fun too. It's an experience out there at Rawhide. You know, when you go out there, it's like that. You know, you got the bikes we're giving away, buckles, etc.
Money, 2,500 added in
right.
each roping.
Right, and if you think you're about it on the 15th, I'll be at Whirlwind, the golf course right there. Listen, no, but for real though, get at me in the DMs at crownb_ranch, and you can get signed up. I think we're gonna golf on the 15th, the day before.
That Friday.
Yeah, so-
And then everything week, I keep everything up to date on our website, www.crownbranchlc.com.
Yeah, you can go there. There's some merch there, stuff like that.
And then
So-
for all you barrel racers that watch the podcast, books are open on Saddle Book.
There you go.
yeah, hey, check it out. Don't hate us because we love y'all.
Yeah, we do. You're a heartbeat, truly.
Yeah, for real though, for real.
Thank you to the Banks family and I appreciate everything. Be on the lookout for the next Tolleson-Mack podcast.
All right, thanks for having us, guys.
Yes, thank you,
Appreciate
gentlemen.
it. Yes, sir.
Bet.
All right, man.